Hey there, this is Sheena Rowlands and today I'm sharing with you my latest layout for Hey Little Magpie. And for this layout I'm using the Simple Stories Front Porch collection and I'm going to use these two papers. So Blessed is the scallops and the flowers is At Home. And I take the scallop paper and I cut them into strips and I pick out the reds and blues and I'm going to use those as the base of this layout. I'm going to create two triangles, one at the top of the paper, the white cardstock, and one at the bottom. So at the moment, I'm just trying to figure out in my mind how I'm going to join the scallops. In fact, I think at the end, the tips are actually covered by the photograph, and that's what I'm just trying to look at the placement and how much I've got left of each of the strip, because I actually want to repeat the colours. So I'm just trying to work out how much I would have left. If you've watched me before, you know that I don't make any rash decisions and I won't be sticking anything down. And I'm just trying to figure out how I'm to cut the flowery paper. I don't really want to cut into it too much. And I'm just in my mind trying to work out the dimensions that I want to use. So with a few pencil marks and my ruler, I'm going to just take some strips from this paper. Now this isn't the guillotine that I normally use. This is the one I take to crops, but I decided it would help me cut the strips that I'm looking for. So I'm only cutting them as long as I need. So I'm turning the paper both ways. So I felt that this style of cutter would be easier for what I was trying to achieve at this stage. So it will make more sense as I go along. I apologize for waving the paper around, but I've cut a V from that corner that I'm going to have on the paper. So if that makes sense, so I've not cut it 12 by 12, I've cut it shorter. So I've still got some of that pattern paper left because I do love the flowery ones and I may want to use it again. So, and because this is my first layout with this collection, I'm just being a little bit thoughtful. I've added the blue scallop there and I'm now looking at whether I want to add the pink, but then I decide that I want to stay with the flowery side of the At Home paper and I may not bring any more colours in. So I'm going to cut another V from the At Home paper to go the other side of the blue blue scallops. So I'm liking that as well. So now I'm thinking yellow maybe. And then I had some inspiration. I decided I'd actually start to stick things down. So I've just bought a distresser and I'm just roughing up the edges a little. Some of that is just to cover my pencil marks and add a little bit more texture. So I'm happy pretty much where that goes. I think I do bring in my ruler as well, just to make sure that the V is in the center. Yeah, there, see, leave nothing to chance. And it was obviously just a little bit off, but that's gone down really well. I'm going to look at sticking a few bits of tape on the back of the scallops. I want to lift them. I want to lift the curved bit later on. So I'm not putting loads of glue on the back or anything like that, just some bits of tape. And as you can see, that way I can reposition it just to try and get the lines straight. And I'm going to do that again on the other side. These scallops are fabulous. I've got two pieces of this paper. I've only cut into one at the moment, but I can see these scallops going on nearly every layout I make. I think they're a really nice addition to this collection. So this collection passed me by the first time. I don't know whether it's because of its name. Front porch isn't something that, I don't know. Do we have front porches in the UK? We don't really. So maybe I didn't really give it enough time. But actually, when I did, I really like the colorways. I think it's very me, actually. Some nice checks, some nice florals. This scallop, as I say, is an absolute beaut. And I'm finding it really easy to be creative with. So I would really recommend you check this out in the Hey Little Magpie store. I think I got the collection pack, which comes with stickers and other bits and pieces. So you've got a loads of one collection all in one go. And sometimes I find that's an easier way to get a new collection. So I've added the blue scallops there, and obviously you see where they meet. So I have taken a little bit of time to get them to meet in a near 3/4 circle. Please excuse the top of my head. I'm just making sure that everything's sticking down there. And I'm still not sure about what colour to add. And I just decide I'm actually going to work on the lower half of the layout. I know I like the flowery paper and I feel that inspiration will strike. This is so out of character for me. Playing it back, I'm a bit surprised, but actually it works. So I'm just, apologies for the head again, it's just so I can get the measurements right, and I'm just cutting a little V to go at the bottom of the layout underneath the photograph. And then I want to repeat the colours from above. So once I've distressed that V shape, I'm going to think about how I'm going to add more scallops at the bottom. So I get that in place. I keep bringing the photo in, and I'm going to trim the scallops off the top and see how much I've actually got left. Because I think there's 2 lines of each colour on the 12 by 12. So obviously I've got more blue left because I did a shorter V of blue at the top. So that's going to be the key for the bottom. Actually, I'm going to use the blue for the longer piece because I've got more of it. And then I had this brainwave. This piece of paper is in the 6 by 8 pad. Oh my goodness, why did I not think of this at the very beginning? I can put a smaller set of scallops in so that I can stick with the colours that I want, and I fussy cut the red ones off camera. But look at that. Doesn't that work better than all the other colours that I tried? Goodness, how long did that take for me to figure that out? But hey, I got there in the end, so that's all that matters. And only the people watching the video actually know I had so much drama over that. So we'll keep that a secret between us, and no one else will ever know. So I'm just adding in the triangle at the top, so to fill in the top of that, and I will be doing some small red scallops at the bottom and another triangle of patterned paper. And I love the way it actually reflects top and bottom. So I stick all that down off camera. So I've now got my photograph, I'm bringing that in, I'm adding the navy spotted paper behind the photo, just giving the edges a little bit of a rough up as well. And I want that photo to be central. So I'm pretty happy with this so far. I'm going to bring in some of the embellishments, tags. I'd like a couple of clusters either side. I'd like them to be symmetrical-ish. They can't be the same. That doesn't work like that. So I'm just having a look what I've got that would work each side. I've got some flowers already that I definitely want to use. I've also got some birds and some tags and some journaling spots. And it will take me a little bit of time to figure out how I want this to work. I don't want to cover the triangles and the scallops because they're just too pretty. And I don't want to overwhelm the photo either. But it's just because I've not planned all this in advance, it does take me a little bit of thinking time to work out what I want. So while my hands are busy, the photograph was taken at my brother's wedding. The reasons that I picked the red and the blue to go with this, as you can see from the photo, the bridesmaids and the cravats are all a shade of blue, and my daughter-in-law is in a beautifully pinky red dress in the photo as well. So they were the obvious choices of colours. I think that's why the other scallop colours didn't work when I brought in the pale pink and the yellow. I think sticking with the two really works, and that's something that's still in my head when I'm actually looking at these clusters either side. I want to add a little tag each side. I think I add a journaling spot to one. In fact, maybe I think I add a journaling spot to both of them, and I want to make sure there's definitely some of that pink and some blues running across those as well. So I've just brought in the pad again just to see if there's anything that I'm missing. Found a really nice frame, and I think it had a silhouette of a head. I cut the head out, but I'm going to actually put a bit of the heart paper in the frame and use that as in one of the clusters as well. So while I'm getting my act together with those, I thought that the word family was a perfect title for this layout. I'll put some foam on it shortly, and I'll get that in at the bottom of the photo. Because of the symmetry of the V's and the layout, I thought it was better to have the title matching that as well, rather than off to either side. Now the cluster on the right, as you look at it, came together really quickly, and I've used stickers and I've used elements from the 6 by 8 photo pad, paper pad, sorry, with the flowers. The left one gave me a little bit more trouble, but I always find that one cluster comes together quicker than the other, and sometimes it's just worth looking at other bits and pieces and it will work. So I found this nice square journaling that had got the little red scallops. I thought that worked really well, and I found a bird that was pinks and reds as well, and then I felt that was coming together really well. I enjoy this part of the process, even though it looks like agony when you're watching it. But I just like to look through what I've got, see how it works. I'm never in a rush. I find that if I take my time, I get it exactly the way that I want it generally. So I'm lucky that I managed to spend a bit of time on this, and I really like the finished layout, and I hope that you do too. That's the layout. Here are some of the close-ups, particularly of the clusters and of the V's. I do hope you try this. If you do, tag me in it. I'd love to see how you do. And this was Sheena for Hey Little Magpie. If you like what you see, give us a thumbs up. Subscribe to our channel. Any questions, add below, and I'm happy to answer anything. Take care. Bye for now.